issues and matters that unfold in Abia State and in Nigeria generally. Of course, through the expertise analysis of our guest on this program, we have views on most of these issues we raised on Abia Democrats. Everywhere or everything democracy. My name is Moses Ben. I have joining me virtually this morning to look at what we want to address on the Abia Democrats. The PDP chairman and acting publicity secretary, Abia State, Elder Abraham Ama. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the Abia Democrats. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be with you this evening.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll kick off the program quickly. This week, precisely, sir, talking about the former governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie Victor Ikpeazu. The pictures are out there, not just here in Abia State. He was seen with his friends talking about the G5 members in Abuja. There's been perception, rumors that things are happening in a way that at the end of the day, it will be taking a different dimension. What is actually happening? Can you give us an update of what transpired there?
Well, what happened that G5 is a very, very important political option of the People's Democratic Party. And it is a political calculation that has come to stay. We are all aware of what happened during the last presidential elections, where the interest of the southern part of this country was jettisoned, where for the first time in the political history of our country, a major political party zoned both the national chairman of the party, the office of the national chairman of the party, and that of the presidential candidate to the northern part. And then every effort was made by this set of governors for sanity to reign and then for what is right to be done. But unfortunately, nothing was done. And then because nothing was done, there was this dissatisfaction which led to what we have in Nigeria today. That dissatisfaction, which was not necessarily sponsored by anybody, but it was a people's own way to express their annoyance because of gross marginalization. It led to what was ordinarily supposed to be PDP votes in most of the states affected, becoming either votes for the Labour Party presidential candidate or votes for the APC presidential candidate. And of course, in the days ahead, political pundits are looking at the G5, particularly with recent expansion of membership, because that political entity has seen new entrants, powerful political players in various parts of this country. They now see them as a top force. And maintaining that position, a very good designing president like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will of course want to keep a tab with them. He will want to maintain a relationship with them as a way of maintaining national stability, cohesion, peace, and which is the important ingredients needed to advance development in Nigeria and anywhere else in the world.
All right. Given that he is rubbing shoulders with Wike, we know, of course, that Wike is still a member of the People's Democratic Party, but serving under the administration of the All Progressives Congress. Let us tie it to what is playing out at the moment. Are there symptoms or possibilities that the former governor of Abia State would want to join the All Progressives Congress?
Well, let us address the fundamental issue first. The fundamental issue here is that, going by Nigerians' own political history, this is not the first time where we saw people of persons from an opposition party serving in the mainstream government. This is not the first time. If you go back to Nigerian political history, you will agree with me that it happened in the First Republic, it did happen in the Second Republic, and even at the inception of the Third Republic, we saw it happen, where prominent members of the then APP, All People's Party, which was the major opposition party at that time, and even members of the Alliance for Democracy, took positions to serve. It is usually seen as an attempt to create a government of national unity, and that is what it is. And Governor Wike has made it very, very clear, and by the grace of God, he continues to play a very prominent role as a leader in PDP, just like Governor Okezie Ikpeazu. There is nothing as of today to indicate that for any reason whatsoever that there is an intention for them to leave the PDP. But rather, they are committed to make sure that the injustice of yesterday, that the deprivations of yesterday will not repeat itself tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. Let us now handle this issue. I saw a statement signed by you, particularly Abraham, where you berated a former Senate President, Senator Adolphus Wabara. Also, he is the acting chairman of the Board of Trustees of the PDP. Can you please tell us exactly what is happening?
Well, you see, we, Abraham Ama, as you have rightly pointed, does not have anything personal with Adolphus Wabara. But Abraham Ama, as the publicity secretary of the People Abia PDP, has a responsibility, a constitutional responsibility, to issue out statements on the instructions under the guidance of the State Working Committee and the generality of the leadership of our party on issues that affect us either positively or negatively. In this case, what Abraham Ama, as the publicity secretary, did was to act in line with these constitutional provisions. Adolphus Wabara, former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by the special grace of God, the acting chair of the Board of Trustees, does not suppose, in holding that office, to make any statement that is intended to have a collateral damage on the reputation or the prospects of the People's Democratic Party. That is exactly what he did. We also stated clearly in that statement that as a person, as an individual, he has his fundamental right, as enshrined by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to express his personal thoughts on issues of governance, on issues affecting Abia State, on issues affecting the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But of course, he cannot do that in a manner that calls his person to question, particularly mindful of the fact that he is the chairman. And he has been condemned also by the higher leadership of the party. A lot of prominent individuals of the party have called him to tell him that what you did is absolutely very, very, very wrong. Wrong. And in one private explanation, which he offered to one of the leaders of the party, he did say, and I quote, "I was quoted out of context by the media." Unquote. The leader told him, a personality at your level, if you were quoted, the right thing for you to do was to at least prompt up your own perspective and narrative of exactly what happened. And that was why we...
All right, we've lost a connection with Elder Abraham. I will try to get across to him so he carries out clarity of this issue this morning, still on the Abia Democrats. Good to have you back to the program, sir. Please, you can continue rather with what you were saying, rather.
Okay, so that was why, in responding to that message, we waited for 48 hours to enable our highly respected leader to come out to say that he was misquoted, or that those statements did not represent what he said. But after 48 hours, 2 working days, he failed to do the obvious, and then we had no choice than to do exactly what we have done.
Don't you think
and
that the first?
Don't you also tell you?
Okay.
We are not stopping. We are not stopping at that. As I speak to you, in a few days, the state working committee is meeting, and in that meeting, we are setting up a disciplinary committee. He has to face the disciplinary committee, but already in some virtual conversations going on, if he comes out to apologize, we will respect his highly exalted office.
So are you trying to say that the fact that he has accepted that the media misquoted him is not enough for you to consider it to be an issue that came out from a different angle altogether?
No, what I said, it was a private conversation. You understand? It has to come to the public domain.
All right.
You know, in public communication, we have what is classified as private information and public information. So if he had volunteered that to an individual, a leader of our party, as far as we are concerned, it is a private conversation between both of them.
All right.
So he needs to come out to say, at least to say that he was misquoted. We can take it at that. We can leave it at that.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let us allow that particular issue to rest at that point, Elder Abraham. Let's move on. Coming down to Abia State, I can remember clearly, still on this platform, the Abia Democrats, your party last week kicked against the governor's attitude to the local government council's administration. Of course, where you have been alleging that the governor has been running the 17 local government area from his office. Now, there's been development in line with this, where the governor has come up to say that anytime soon he would call or appoint transition committee chairman. And then the news has been on talking about appointing billionaires and also non-indigens to occupy these positions. Today, the indigenous people of Abangwa, comprising 24 communities in Aba North and Aba South Council areas of Abia State, have vowed to resist Governor Alex Oti's proposed appointment of a non-indigene as the mayor of Aba. As a party, what's your reaction on the governor's decision so far?
Well, we have multiple reactions and on that. Number one, the governor said that he was going to appoint what he called mayor. Now, in as much as we know the meaning of mayor and what it stands for, but we will not fail to state categorically that the word mayor is unknown to our constitution. What is known to our constitution is chairman of local government. And you know, we are talking about the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And this constitution is a product of the exclusive list, which means that even the Abia State House of Assembly does not have power to cause a change in that constitution. So we must first and foremost correct him that there is nothing known as mayor in our constitution. He can only conduct local government elections as he had earlier promised during his campaign, that he does not believe in the transition management of the council, that the management of the council on transition basis is fraudulent. He can only conduct a local government election. And when he chooses to revert himself to now do appointment, whatever appointment cannot have any other name, those persons, whether they are billionaires or retired generals, can only answer transition committee chairman. And whether he likes it or not, if he appoints them tomorrow as mayor, the opposition party, the PDP, and the people of Abia will continue to address those individuals as transition committee chairman. The number two reaction is that the action of a leader who asks his followers to hit their head on the wall if they don't agree with his policies and perspectives can have several adverse implications. It's either that he wants to govern by means of manipulation and control. Leaders who resort to extreme measures like this may be seeking to manipulate and control their followers. By using such tactics, they attempt to suppress dissent and discourage independent thinking. This creates an environment where followers may feel coerced and coerced into compliance, keeping their ability to express their own opinion and concern. For us, the Abia PDP, and indeed majority of the people of Abia, this is a cult-like behavior which begins to raise up questions whether the current governor of Abia State is a former member of any of the Black Brotherhood or cult organizations. Leaders who demand unquestioning obedience and promise harmful action can exhibit nothing more than cult tendencies. They create an atmosphere where critical thinking is discouraged and blind loyalty is valued above all else. This can lead to ecological manipulation, isolation from existing support systems, and the erosion of personal autonomy. Of course, this also leads to erosion of trust and negative impact on the citizens. It is not acceptable. That is not the manner for a sitting governor to present himself. Because at every time, you must recognize the fact that there will be a different perspective. Even in the State House of Assembly, this democracy is founded on the basis of the rule of law, which is the supremacy of the law, as administered by the court of the law. This democracy is founded on principles of checks and balances. The mere fact that there is an existence of checks and balances is a confirmation that people will not accept what you have done in total. They will want to investigate. They will want to cross-examine, and then if they find it okay, they will stand by you. But if they don't find it okay, they will criticize you. And in democracy, it does not stop you from having your way, particularly when such criticism you feel is coming from minorities. So we think that it is not then. On the other aspect of using billionaires.
All right, we'll come down to that, Abraham. We'll come down to the aspects of using billionaire. But let us get clarity on this expression that you have linked the governor with, talking about Black Brotherhood and cult organization. Please. Expatiate on this particular, on these expressions.
What we are doing is dissection of the governor's current behavior. It is, you will hear, CNN will tell you that this is the footage of ISIS. CNN will tell you that this is the footage of one terror organization or the other. What he has done, it is the cult people who tell people that you must accept it or kill yourself. It is a system. It is not a democratic system. And we are not saying that we have any fact that it belongs to any cult.
That's what I want to establish, actually.
We are simply saying that his action is suggestive of a cult-like leader behavior.
Hello,
so
sir. Okay.
We can now come back, if it is okay by you, to the issue of appointing billionaires.
All right, let us hear from you. But remember, the different groups have come up to talk about integrity of these persons that would be appointed as transition committee chairman. I believe that's where the issue of the billionaire came in. You've been...
Excuse me. We want persons, when you say persons, we will deal with what the governor said. We start reacting to what anybody says. Now, when you come out as a governor to say, I am going to hand over power to billionaires and retired deputy general, what is that called in politics? That is plutocracy. That is plutocracy. And if you look at political history the world over, where there have been some form of plutocracy, either in Mexico, in Brazil, where powerful, rich individuals who are drug lords and who have made billions took over government, and then they make sure that unless person in their cycle is involved in governance, we have seen clearly negative impact of such action. If you go to Philippines, for instance, where a few rich individual families have held sway through government for a very long time, the biggest ministry in Philippines today is the labor agency, which are saddled of recruiting Filipinos to serve as housemaids to aristocratic families all over the world. These aristocratic families are mostly have been established through the contact of the Manila-based aristocratic family. And that is why you find Filipinos in Doha, in Dubai, in Saudi Arabia, all over Europe, serving as housemaids. And even very recently, we have a few billionaires in Banana Island and other high-growth areas of Lagos and Asokoro and Maitama, who have also gone ahead to engage the services of these Filipinos, where other citizens are not good in anything other than being made our servants. That is the consequences of plutocracy. So we must address that. It is for the governor to come out to say, I am going to commit individuals with high pedigree, character, and integrity to manage our local government council. If on the course of doing the appointment, those individuals, some of them happen to be billionaires, it will not be a problem. We cannot punish them because they are successful people. We cannot deprive them from participating or defranchising them from the business of governance because they are billionaires. No. But what the governor and his counselors, his advisors must push first is about integrity of the person he is going to appoint. Integrity is what he should push. But when he now comes to say, I am going to appoint billionaires, I am going to appoint military people. If you don't like it, hit your head on the ground. It is not acceptable. And you see, the consequences of actions is always lamentable. And it cannot be determined ab initio, but in the long run, I am sure by now the governor is regretting his choice of words.
All right.
I am pretty sure. You know, absolute power, not absolutely. So, who knows his mood when he makes that statement and how he is left, or the type of pressure of challenges of running a government that has not really shown the tenets of transparency as he has earlier indicated and preached. So the fallback of all these, the consequences of his own action may have become an opium to him.
All right, Elder Abraham.
They have generated this probably not intended misbehavior of his.
All right. There are also issues that's about we expected you to address plainly that has to do with appointing a non-indigene. We have questions around that one as well, but we are due for a break at this point. When we return, we'll pick it up and then continue with the program. This is the Abia Democrats. Please stay with us.
Connection is very important. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium. Experience the smooth and strong feeling that consistently surpasses expectation. Leading the way in high-performance lubricants, Master Supermoto Oil is as durable as titanium.
Welcome back to the Abia Democrats, where everything democracy. The program looks at burning issues and matters that unfold and develop in Abia State and in Nigeria generally. And we have been speaking with virtually this morning with the Abia PDP chairman and acting publicity secretary, Elder Abraham. You're welcome back to the program,
Abia PDP vice chairman.
Oh, thank you. Abia PDP vice chairman. Thank you for that correction. You're welcome back to the program. All right, very quickly before we move down to the next issue, let us revisit the issue where the Aba Ngwa group called on the governor with regards to the fact of appointing non-indigene as mayor of Aba. Is it out of place? Given the nature of Aba, you understand clearly what Aba is all about. It welcomes and houses people from different parts of the country. You can equate it with Lagos State, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and what have you. For somebody who has been there, let's say, given 50 years, 40 years, he's been doing businesses, he pays taxes, and all of that. Is it wrong for such a person not to have a touch or involved in the administration of such a place? And also, as someone who has been a local government chairman, what do you think should be the requirement when it comes to selection of a transition committee chairman, if at all the governor would toe that path?
Well, first and foremost, you see, I want to be properly understood. One, even under the PDP government, we did engage non-Ngwa sons or daughters who have proven their residency in Aba. Most of them were born in Aba. Most of them have stayed in Aba for over 20 years or more. Most have well-established businesses in Aba who have paid tax in Aba for a period of, say, 25 years, 15 years. Because when you stay in a place and you don't pay tax in that place, you are not, you cannot claim. Because our intelligence, the other PDP intelligence, have just confirmed that one of the persons he's trying to use in Aba is somebody who has not paid tax in Aba for over 15 years. To Abia, he has not paid tax. I stand to be corrected. And the only way I stand to be corrected is for that individual to make copies of his tax payments to the press in Abia State, Flow FM, Magic FM, Love FM, and Enimba FM, and all of them. Let him, and of course the mainstream media, the Guardian, the Vanguard, the Punch, let him make available for the past 15 years. For me, as I said, the PDP did it. For me, it is not a problem. I believe that if Africans who have lived in London or lived in Chicago or lived elsewhere in Europe have been able to be seen as citizens of those countries after probably living there for 5 years or 10 years, and then updating and normalizing their dossiers, their documentation, I believe that there is nothing absolutely wrong for somebody from Anambra State, Ebonyi State, Lagos State, who has lived in Aba to be trusted to manage the business of Aba. But what we did as a party, we made sure that at every given time, we did not come for any reason whatsoever, allow the two councils of Aba to be managed, or if the two councils of Aba, that is Aba North and Aba South, to be managed, because the Aba metropolis is 5 local governments. So Ubunabo must always go to an Ungwama. Osisioma must always go to Ungwama because they are majority there. Obingwa must always go to Ungwama. But the other two councils of Aba North and Aba South, what we did was whenever we want to bring a non-Ngwa person to manage the affairs of one of the councils, the next council must be managed by a core Ngwa person. Now, I think that if he follows that, there will be no problem. By making sure that if he's bringing a non-Ngwa person to manage one of the councils, as I said, that we will want to see, because outside the country, non-payment of tax is a very serious crime. It's a very, very serious crime. As I speak, my tax in Abia State is up to date, even up to this year. It's up to date, even up to this year. So, for anybody who does not have tax records for the past 15, 20 years in Abia State to manage the affairs of any part of Abia, then we will be encouraging the wrong thing. And that will not be good. So that is our approach in managing the two councils of Abia.
All right, thank you so much. Let us move down to the latest development. The government of Dr. Alex Otti has proposed a policy to convert the cattle market at Lokpanta in Umunochi to a daily and non-residential market, just to stem the tide of insecurity along the Lokpanta-Umunochi-Uturu axis of the state. And also, the people at this point, talking about traders at that axis, are demanding, appealing to the government to also relocate them and then build a place, houses for them to still reside. What do you make of this development, Abraham?
That is what governance should be. And we commend him once again for doing that. Because, as I have always said, our problem is to recognize what the previous government has done and to take off from there. In a widely circulated statement credited to the former governor, Ibazo, he said, and I quote, that measures are being taken to make sure that the Lokpanta market becomes a non-residential habitation. That we want it gradual and systematic in a manner whereby those who are living around that area can take out their time to look for somewhere else. That because government with time will have no option than to demolish every residential house in that area. And that that place have the capacity to be a daily market. I myself, as an individual, on several occasions, I have gone to that market to pick up some cattle. I used to have a cattle farm at Ihechiawa. My people know that. So that place used to be my own supply. My supply there with one of my trucks, buy those things, come. So it has all, in fact, it's really been a daily market. That what the governor is trying to do now is to implement the framework put in place by the federal by the government. Because when we were talking about what happened to cabinet secretary, we said it is possible for, it is not a bad policy to say if you have served for 8 years you should go. But for a people-centric government, if you want to carry out that type of policy, you can tell those in office that from the next 1 year you will be disengaged. And those coming on board that you cannot stay for more than this period. That way, it allows individuals to prepare themselves and at least know that they are going. But when you just come up one day and say, go, you are not even go, you are under suspension. You are under suspension 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later. You cannot tell them the crime they have committed. That is punitive. That is satanic. That is unacceptable. So I am happy with what the governor is doing at Lokpanta for adopting the framework of Governor Ipazo. And of course, that is the right thing to do. Thank you.
All right. We want to bring in our listener at this point for him or her to call in and let us have their position on the program. It's been the Abia Democrats, everything democracy. 08081826949, 08116052949. You can do us a text message, and the number for that is 0906-510-8289. Please be civil with your contribution. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I greet your guest, Mr. Abraham. My name is Mr. Chijoke. I am calling from Bende Road. In fact, most of times when I had the people, PDP people, talking, criticizing Dr. LSAT, I asked myself, during 24 years of these people, they said that they did the right thing. What was the result? This is a government who gave every opportunity, and even to pay ordinary salary, they struggled. They could not do it. What about infrastructure? What did they do in terms of infrastructure? In terms of paying regular payment of salaries, managing pensioners, employing our youth, they could not do anything.
All right, you have used your time.
No. What I understand now is, Ben, they don't want LSOT to succeed. LSOT must succeed. They have seen that he's doing the right thing. And
all right, you have used your time already. That's your position in the way on that issue. 08081826949, 08116052949. We are taking your contributions at this point in time. Good morning and welcome. Okay, we lost that call. Okay, our text message line also is 0906-510-8289. Elder Abraham, before we take the next call, okay, let's just speak with this person. Good morning. Right, we lost that one again. Your quick reaction to the contribution from one of our listeners.
You see, the problem is that most students or persons who are part of the conversation, they don't listen to that conversation. They are just in that meeting to make their own point and go. You have raised silent issues. We are discussing issues. You understand? What I expect is that any reaction should be based on those issues. You understand? Should be based on those issues. You talked about mayor. You talked about some other critical issues. You understand? And I have reacted to those issues. When we were in government, do you expect me to be the leader of opposition? Do you expect me to be the one criticizing government? If I have, for any reason, I feel that the government is not doing anything right, do you think I would take the stance of an opposition member? What I would do is to do a memo to my governor.
All right.
And tell him, sir, this is my thinking about this, and I think that if it goes this way, it will be better. So let them, those who want to contribute, should contribute. If they feel they are die-hard supporters of Amechioti, that is their business. That is their business.
All right.
You understand? They should be intelligent and proactive enough to address the issues.
All right.
To address the issues which have been raised by you. Their inability to do that, then they don't have any reason to even call that number.
All right. Hello, good morning and welcome.
Mr. Ben, I want to say that
You have spoken already on the program this morning, so allow other persons to call in and make in their contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Odufuri Kuyanwanyame. I'm calling from Sirimo.
All right.
Please, I will use Yibo.
No, for the sake of person, for the sake of those who do not understand Igbo, please comply with what we have been using.
Okay, I want to ask our invitee there. Why you did not go to MSO Father's burial? Is he not an PDP man?
We didn't discuss that. Please, if you do not have something to say, I don't think it's even necessary for you to call in. Stick to what we have been discussing this morning on the Abia Democrats. Quickly, a very good one before we leave you to go, Elder Abraham. Looking at what is happening so far, the issue of the talking about transition committee chairman, your party's position on this. Do you have interest in these positions, sir?
No, we don't have to in part of his administration. We have said this in you understand, he should appoint his people so that they take full responsibility for their actions, for the much they will stay in power. We don't have any interest, but our interest is a collective interest of the people of Abia State. And that interest is that in taking any actions, he should align himself with the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria, and that in taking any action, he should always remember to talk to fellow citizens with some level of diplomacy and take away arrogance or that attitude of feeling that he is a messiah. For now, it is only time that will tell in history who is the Messiah. Who is the Messiah? Messiahs are not celebrated when they are alive. I want to put it clearly. When you see anybody who is being celebrated when he's alive, is an antichrist in leadership. And you are celebrated when you have left office. When you have left office, that is when people will celebrate what you have achieved. If somebody is 1 month or 2 months in office, people are calling you Messiah. The thing is getting to your Mondolo Gogata as an opium. Then there is a problem with you. And then there is also a problem with that society who believes that a man who has just spent, a man who has jettisoned transparency, a man who has jettisoned accountability, a man who has jettisoned the order in the State House of Assembly, a man who has unilaterally taxed 10,000 and above workers, a man who is paying salaries bit by bit, and up till now, 4 months after he came to office, there are people who have not received salary for 1 month.
But he has been paying salaries, Abraham.
You understand? So, and then people see such a person as the Messiah. It is too early.
But you would agree with the fact that he has been paying salaries?
I will not join issues with you because it's not one of those issues we have discussed today.
All right, it's because you mentioned it. That was why I had to dwell on it. It's been a nice.
I didn't say he's not paying salary. I say a man who pays some people and doesn't pay some other people.
Okay.
In the name of biometric. That is what is happening. There are people who have not been paid, and that is why even your station have heard of local government that has been locked in the last few weeks because the employees are saying that they have not been paid. We've seen that from Umuahia North. We've seen that in Bunabo. We've seen that in Okwa East. We have seen that in other local governments of the state. Why did they do that? Was it a deliberate attempt to tarnish the image? And let me tell you, you can't pay a worker and a worker will do that. No worker will do that.
All right. We've been speaking with the PDP Vice Chairman, Abia North, and Publicity Secretary, rather, in Abia State, Elder Abraham. I want to say thank you for your time on the Abia Democrats this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you once again. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Do have a good time over there. We truly appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Abia Democrats comes up every Friday morning on our radio station and our sister radio station in Aba. That's Magic FM. It's been a wonderful time with you. Let us do this again next week, Friday. My name is Moses Ben. Good morning.